At the fall of Atlantis, what that meant was that the land could no longer endure what the humans had done to harm it. Therefore, there was earthquakes or weather, there was things that made it very uncomfortable for the humans. And the humans are not what one would call humans as of your modern day. These were humans that were actually humanoid beings that had come from other planets. Mostly they came from Arcturus, and they came from Venus, they came from Antares and Sirius. They were selfish and they cared more about themselves than they did the land. People have had their chance to just muck it up, to become hysterical, to run around, to break things, and to let everybody know that they're really, really, really pissed off. But why are they so angry? What are they angry about? Now, it would be helpful if that was the first thing that was addressed. Okay, there's a lot of really angry people, and what are we going to do? We need to find out why they're angry. We need to help them so they don't so angry. But instead, we're doing like we did in Atlantis. Okay, we came here, it was a good place, we lived here for X amount of generations, but we kind of ruined it. The land isn't as good, the air isn't as good, the water isn't drinkable, it just doesn't work. We're out of here. And then they just left. They left their mess behind them. And what happened to Atlantis? Well, nobody knows because it died. It died. The people killed it and it died. And now there is a similar thing that's happening. And it's happening more through a political type of way than through the ways that it was in Atlantis, because they were very different societies. Atlantis was very aware of the sky and the ground and the other planets, and that they were on a planet. And when they first came, they had many generations of having very lovely, wonderful lives. But over time, they forgot that the planet is their mother. So would you like to go on from there, Danny?
It goes back to exactly what you were saying, in that the recognition of the planet as being alive got forgotten and got lost. And in a way, that sense of knowingness died with Lemuria, and with Atlantis. And now, at the same time, some people remain conscious about that fact of what really did happen in this fall of the city, and also the fall of consciousness, which in my perspective goes hand in hand. And that's a lot of what we're seeing today, is a lot of built up energies that are leading to the physical events that are happening in the US, for example. And with that buildup can only go so far. It's like if you turn on a hose in your backyard, but then if you like crank the end of the hose and then the water gets all built up, well, you can only hold that crank for so long until that pressure buildup is gonna shoot everything out.
Exactly. You can hold that hose with the water going through it, being bent for so long, and then after a while, you won't be able to hold it. You can't hold it back. Why did that happen? Well, the fact that they don't know why is the reason why it happened, of course. Because if people can stay aware and see what's happening before it happens, then they can take care of it before it happens. And it doesn't have to be a huge, damaging, terrifying, murdering event, such as it has become within this now. The antidote is love. And since what got damaged the most was the planet. I mean, yes, right now you can just look at the riots and stuff, and it was the building that got damaged and the people that got damaged. But what about that moving up towards it? But people don't want to be terrified, so they just push it away. Say, no, that's not going to happen. You saw rage and fear. What do you have to say to add to that?
What we saw was the manifestation, the physical manifestation of that built up energy. It didn't just happen out of the blue, like you were saying. There's an intentionality behind everything, and there is a reason behind everything. And I think we talked about this in another video, in that energy always precedes the event. The energy always precedes the event. So there was a lead up of energy, of fear, of anger, of this turmoil that exploded as it did. And we are still seeing the pieces kind of fall down from the sky still from that explosion. And this can really offset a lot of the feelings of safety that people may have. It can offset a lot of the grounding foundational work that a lot of us want to come into this new year with. So it gives us not just a challenge collectively, but a challenge personally to finding our bearings again and being able to move forward with the love that you were talking about.
And then also, on the other hand, everybody has to hunker down. You have to stay in your house with the people that you live with all the time. This is between a rock and a hard place. Not fun to wear a mask. That's not our first choice. But what the mask does, it reminds us that, look what happened. Look at this. We're all wearing a mask outside. We can't go outside in the fresh air without a mask. So how many people are taking responsibility for that? It's more a collective responsibility. What would you say that collective responsibility would encompass?
I think it would encompass the ability to see the bigger picture. And that happens on an individual level. But what you do from that and bringing it forward is what really is going to make the difference. And if we want to really move into this, this new age, this new beginning, we can only do that together. It's like that Matrix quote from the Oracle. I'm only interested in the future, and the only way that we get there is together. It's the same exact thing. We can't keep repeating mistakes from the past. Now is the time that together we clear that out from Atlantis to now and move forward into something new.
Yes, and this is like that time of Atlantis. That was a great society. And it lasted for a very, very long time. And a lot of wonderful things happened. But they lost track somewhere. Somewhere they lost track. And things started falling apart. And it's kind of like, look at your yard. If you go out, at least once a week and you kind of fiddle around and you clean it up a little bit, or like you have a swimming pool. What if you go in and, you do your swimming pool on a regular basis? But what if you never cleared your swimming pool? What if you never, cleaned up your yard? Then what could have been it's a nice pretty day, I'm going to go out and mow the lawn, or, play around with the pool, or, do one of these fun things. No. Then it's like, oy vey, what a mess. This will take weeks. And that's kind of what everybody did in what was happening to our country.
At the end of the day, all those small fires created this large inferno.
Yes.
So we can get boggled up in the, this piece and that piece. But at the end of the day, the bigger piece is that together we have to create this healing and this.
Yes. Yes, it's the unity consciousness of love and light, of coming together, realizing that we are the most evolved species of the planet. We are human beings. And so, since we are the most evolved species on the planet, we don't expect our dogs and cats to go out and change the situation. Even though people aren't aware, the energy fields will guide them to the frequency that is going to heal them, center them, and remind them who they are and why they chose to take a physical body during this time of great challenge. No one is a victim. We all volunteered for this.
The intentionality of just the fact that we're all here at the same time in this big collective challenge, none of it is an accident. And if you're here, then you're here. It's not to run away from anything. It's not to hide from it. It's to be able to, like you said, create that energy field of unity and do the work and do what needs to be done in order to better heal and to move forward. And something that you said that really I think was important is basing it off of the energetic factor. I think a lot of people, they get stressed out about like, oh, well, like I'm in my house, like what could I contribute? What could I do? Well, you can use your energy. It's not just about your physical body. There's more to us than our physicality. We can see that there's 10% physical, however much percent mental, and then more than half of us, more than half of our beingness is energy. It's the same thing with the planet. So we have to start looking at the planet as an alive being. And if we're here on this alive being, then obviously there's a reason for that beyond just our physical bodies.
Yes, and also that addressing that moment. If people get frightened, when people get frightened, that's when they forget that they were really scared, and they probably maybe they thought it was powerful, but that power went into anger and it went into hurting, diminishing. And this is the challenge for all of humanity within this now, that we are at the now in which we can use more than that, just 10% of our brain. We are ready now to expand the use of our physical brain and our physical heart, and that will occur when we can love ourselves. Because if we don't love ourselves, we won't eat right, we won't sleep right, and so we won't be able to evolve into who we can be. And when we start with ourselves and take good care of ourselves and take good care of our mates and our children and our friends, then that's an energy field. Now, we saw an energy field, we watched it, the whole thing from the very beginning, and it escalated more and more and more and more. And that was fear taking hold. The problem was the illness came out. It was an illness and it needed to come out. And everybody needs to take the antidote, which is love, light, awareness, faith. Faith in whatever it is that you believe you need to have faith in. But if you don't have it in yourself, then you won't have faith that you can get that thing that you have faith for.
Faith isn't blind, it's confident. It is confident. And that goes back to the power of your belief in that whatever it is that you believe in, if it has that foundation of, light, love, and confidence, then that's what's going to really propel you forward. And that antidote of love and of light, it starts within, you bring it out, and then that has a ripple effect, because again, we're talking about energy. And can you imagine the ripple effect that could have? Love is always going to be stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than anger, which in
Yeah.
reality is rooted in fear at the end of the
Yes.
day. So we are actively being called now. This was like a signal to step it up, because we have the potential to do some incredible things that we might not even think to be possible. And so now is the time to transmute these energy fields of a lower vibration and to take it up a notch.
Yes. And transmutation means to bring it into a higher frequency. When somebody is terrified, that's a low frequency of consciousness, because you're terrified, you're scared. And you're only terrified because you're scared, and you're scared because you don't think you can face it. We don't have to damage, we don't have to harm. That does not make change.
When you're stoking that energy of fear, it's like a circle that keeps going around and around and around and around, and it just creates a continued behavior pattern. It's kind of like if you're trying to like eat healthier, but you keep eating candy bars every single day, you're just back into the same cycle. And when you start to add in that new energy of love, of the light, of the unity, then that circle starts to rotate a little differently, because you changed the energy, you broke the cycle. And that's what we're here to do. We are here to break the cycle that started during Atlantis and is at its finishing point now.
Yes. And also, we all need to remember that we're not just doing it for us. We're not just doing it for the humans, because the humans need the planet. And if the planet is wounded, if the planet can't be farmed, if the planet can't give us healthy water, if we can't get rain and we can't get sun, then it doesn't matter what we're doing for each other, because the planet is not habitable. And this is a responsibility. Now, yes, many people have just, okay, this place is no good anymore, I'm leaving. But wouldn't it be better if they said, oh, this place isn't good anymore, I'm staying because I want to fix it. And if every single person did that, that's it, we're clear.
A lot of people want to run away from being human. And it's wonderful to talk about the higher frequencies and to talk about the ships and to talk about, you know, being able to access these different higher areas of reality. But at the same time, we can't escape the fact that we are still human. And a lot of people want to run away from the human side of it, which, I mean, Sue, as you know, that's what takes away the grounding. We're supposed to bring in those higher dimensional energies to this human experience, and we can't disengage from that.
Just to sum up what you said is that we chose to take physical bodies within this now. Now, maybe not all, but if you find yourself listening through this type of a meeting, then yeah, I would probably say that you are amongst the ones that chose. That we're all galactic beings, you know, a lot of Palladians and Antaurians and Arcturians and Venusians. And yes, guess what? Earth is not the only planet that has life, but the other planets don't have the same kind of life, and it's not at the same frequency. So that doesn't mean that they aren't there and they don't have their own reality. But yes, we are moving into this expanded reality. First thing that has to happen is to express the fear and let go of the fear. I'd like to do a little breathing, because when somebody is overwhelmed, frightened, or angry, if you can control your breath, you can control your thoughts, you can control your actions. And if you control your actions and you control your reactions, remember, okay, if it's going to get longer. I'm preparing for the future. I'm not just breathing for this moment. I'm not just changing for this moment. I'm not just loving for this moment. I am the creator of my own future. Otherwise, we're victims. Who wants to be a victim? There's nothing fun about that. And if we know that we are the ones that are controlling ourselves, then we can love ourselves. And when we can love ourselves, oh boy, we can learn and remember, and there's just so many wonderful things happen when we love ourselves. All right, so just close your eyes for a long, slow moment. And as you breathe in, I'm going to get it slowly where the outflow is twice as long as the inflow. 1, 2, hold, love and light, love and light. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, love and light. Exhale, love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light. I am a vehicle of love and light, and I share my love, I share my light with Gaia, beloved planetary being of Gaia, and all of her myriad beings that live upon, below, above, and around her wonderful planet of Gaia.